Hey everybody, welcome. I say welcome. I'm the only one here, so I guess I'm welcoming myself to Instagram. I don't know. I went for a long run this morning, so I'm a bit workout brain. But hey guys, I just realized I haven't checked in a long time on this platform, as it were, and I thought I'd just pop in and say hello and see how everybody's doing and see what's up, because I haven't, done a Q&A in a long time. I haven't done anything, and I know this wasn't planned, but, I figure I'd just pop in and check in on you guys and see what's up. Let's see, we already have some questions. Greetings from the Netherlands. Wow, that's awesome. I love that. Hey, Katherine, what's up? I miss you guys. I miss Vancouver. How am I doing? I'm doing all right. Just sat out in some sunshine for a little while and then was, just been chilling out, and I'm technically procrastinating on my to-do list currently. And seeing, I was going, what could I do to procrastinate? What would be a proactive procrastination? Because that's what I'm all about during quarantine, is proactive procrastination, So I figure, I'll check in on y'all. See what's going on. Now, there have been a million comments that have come in, so I'm going to scroll through and see what I've missed. What is up, everybody? All right, talk to me. What's on your mind right now? What questions do you have? What things do you want to know? Not necessarily about me. Hi, Verity. Verity, I miss you so much. I think about you all the time. What's on your mind? Maya! I'm calling you this week. We need to talk. Am I going to make another show? I hope so. I don't know what show, but we'll find out one day. Can I do a makeup live? I was thinking about that the other day and why I haven't done that. Connection. This is super weird. Anyway, if that is something that you guys would like, if I were to do, a live makeup tutorial or a Insta story makeup tutorial of some sort. Hey, Darren. Yes, we are playing FaceTime tag, Darren. And why are we talking through Insta Live instead of FaceTime each other? I don't know. I'll call you later. Anyway, my favorite book is Watership Down. It has been since I was a little kid, although I haven't read it since. But I'm very proud of myself. I finally set up a home office. I do have a very beat up copy of Alice in Wonderland. That is also one of my favorite books of all time. Tina, I miss you so much. Let me see. What is my favorite series or movie? I know I was so late to this party, but I needed something fun and light and heartwarming to watch at a certain point in quarantine, and so I finally got around to Schitt's Creek, and I have to say, it is utterly fantastic, and I thoroughly enjoyed every minute of it. It's the shit, as it were. No, I think the Levies are just utterly brilliant, and it was so wonderful to watch. I almost want to rewatch it. Also, Great British Bake Off is incredibly heartwarming and has inspired me to bake again. I'm currently in a situation where I can't bake right now, but that's a longer story. But as soon as I am able to, I have so many projects on Pinterest that I'm just dying to bake. Anything more in the Arrowverse? I hope to be back in the Arrowverse. In whatever quantity they will have me. Because obviously we're still in limbo about everything. So when I know, you will know. What else can we talk about? What other shows? I love The Boys. I haven't caught up yet on this season, and I'm so behind, but it's because I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off, and I want to actually watch it. But I'm so proud of that show because I know a lot of the crew that works on it as well as some of the cast, and they shoot the show in Toronto, and it's some of our Shadowhunters crew is now working on that, and it just makes me so happy to see, our family doing amazing things. Because if there's anybody that knows how to do superhumans, it's the Shadowhunters crew, let's be real. So they're doing it a good job. They're doing a good job and carrying on the legacy in their own way. I should dye my hair back to the orange color. I've actually been thinking about that because I'm a natural ginger. And I miss being a ginger. I miss being a redhead just because I've been blonde for so long. But I think, well, it's strawberry blonde technically, but for lack of a better word, I like the word ginger, so I use it even though I'm technically strawberry blonde. But hey. But yes, I think I'm just dying to change my hair up. I don't know. What is a Shadowhunter? Ooh, this is a fun question. I don't get this question a lot. A Shadowhunter is a half angel, half human demon hunter, or one that is of a descent of one that is angel-blooded, or has drank from the mortal cup to acquire the properties of the Nephilim blood. Thank you. I miss talking about the Shadow World. Ask me more questions about the Shadow World. How's my day so far? It's pretty good. I went for a run and I laid in the sunshine, trying to work on my tan. I read a book. I I just bought an economics book that was written this year by 2 Nobel Prize winning economists, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it because that's the nerd that I am. So that's my current reading material. Although, I don't know if you guys are the same way. I'm one of those people, I'm constantly reading 5 books at once. I'm reading like 5 books and 2 plays at any one point in time, and I'm not sure why. I think it's because I'm used to reading, when I was in school, I was used to having, 5 textbooks and 2 novels to read all at once, and I sort of miss that variety of material. So I sort of, I guess, do it myself now. I'm not sure. Is there a scene in any of the Shadowhunters books that I would have liked to do in this series? There's so many scenes of like mission stuff that we never got to do, or so many scenes with like Aileen and Helen in Idris, and just sort of the Alicante gang meeting with the New York gang, all doing things together. We did a little bit of it, but not as much as I would have liked. So there's that. Sorry, I'm trying to find all your questions. Do I have a TikTok? I do not have a TikTok. I do enjoy TikToks, mostly animal TikToks, and medical professionals finding a way to relieve stress through TikTok dances make me very, very happy. My whole family's in science and medicine, so I understand the sense of humor, and it makes me very, very happy. My favorite bakery recipe. Most of my favorite recipes are my great-grandma's that have been passed down to me through my grandma, who taught me how to bake. So oatmeal butterscotch cookies are a specialty of mine. We also have a very dense chocolate sheet cake with chocolate fudge icing that we call Death by Chocolate Cake in our family, just because it's deadly rich. So there you go. Favorite Shadow World character? Jonathan. Hands down. Jonathan Sebastian has always been my favorite, only because when I was reading the book, I came across that character and I hated him because he's so vile and just so irredeemable. And yet, I don't want to spoil the books, but in the last moments that character is present in the story, you just fall in love with him instantly, and you just can't help but feel for him. So there you go. Overall favorite Shadowhunter scene. Does the Malik wedding as a whole count? Can I just count that as one whole scene? Or Lakeland, one of the two. If my personality was an ice cream flavor, what would I be and why? If my personality was an ice cream flavor? I don't know. I would like to say chocolate chip cookie dough, because it's a little bit savory and a little bit sweet and full of fun surprises. Maybe? I don't know. You guys have so many great questions. Favorite Hogwarts house? I don't want to pick a favorite Hogwarts house because I think every Hogwarts house has their qualities, but I'll tell you, I identify as a Ravenclaw with Gryffindor tendencies and a sprinkle of Hufflepuff. Because I don't think anyone truly has to choose one house, in my opinion. Argentina, wow. Do I have a tattoo? Yes, I have 10 tattoos. They're all tiny though. But there's more to come. That's the thing with tattoos is I've really come to love them. And that's something I never thought I would do, but now I try and take my time with them though. Because I always make myself wait a year. If I think of a tattoo idea, I'll think about it, I draw it on myself in eyeliner, and I make myself wait a year because I want to be sure that it's something that I'm okay with having on my body for the rest of my life. So you have it. If I could pick a rune to have, which one would I choose and why? I really do think I could use an Aratsi rune in my life because I'm pretty clumsy and I trip a lot and little bumps and bruises, and especially if I'm sore from working out, I feel like the Aratsi would cover all of those things. But I have 3 runes tattooed, but they don't work, unfortunately. I gotta figure that out. I gotta troubleshoot those runes. Basketball or baseball? I love playing baseball, but I love watching baseball and basketball. But I grew up as a softball pitcher, so I'm kind of partial to baseball. What is one relationship or friendship from the books that you would have liked to see more of on screen? Alec and Clary. I would have loved to see more of that. I mean, Matt and I had so much fun playing in and around that relationship, and we found some nice moments, but I wish we could have gotten more into it. And I think we would have had the show continued, because there was finally room for that, but, we weaved it in when we could. How do you think if Clary and Mia were to switch lives? I think Clary would kind of take it in stride and think it was pretty cool, and also being the comic book nerd that Clary is already, I think she would have been fangirling over all of the superheroes so hard, and should have FaceTimed Simon immediately to be like, look, it's Superman! Um, but I think if Mia were to end up in the Shadow World, she'd be very confused as to how these people had magic and why. I mean, like, can you just pop out the vampire teeth? Because I don't believe what you're doing. But I think she and Alec would have gotten along pretty well. What movies do I like? I always say I have a really hard time choosing favorite movies because I love movies. And I love movies for so many different reasons. But my 3 favorites that I always go back to are Gilda with Rita Hayworth, Princess Bride, and Usual Suspects. I think it kind of runs the gamut of films. Planning more photography with Will? Always. That's what we do. Sydney, I miss you so much as well, my dear. All the photos you've been posting lately are utterly gorgeous. What kind of books do I like? A lot, considering. All different kinds of books. I don't know. I haven't really met a book that I don't like, save for 1 or 2, which I won't discuss here. But, I miss reading, and it's that's one thing I've loved about 2020, is getting back to reading and having more time to get back to just reading books. Because with running around and traveling and working and doing all these things, it's something that I'd gotten out of the habit of doing, and I don't even know why. But as a kid, I always had a book in my hand. I read too many books, probably, as a kid, but I don't actually think that's possible, so I rescind that comment. But, yeah, I think the world of books is so beautiful because it combines your imagination with creativity and entertainment, and it becomes this beautiful shared experience that's also individual to every person. But there you go. What else? Have I ever read fan fictions? I have not ever read fan fictions. I've heard about a lot of fan fictions, and I know some of the Shadowhunters cast has read fan fictions, but I personally have not. Who's my favorite villain? Well, in what sense? Because, I mean, I do love Pennywise from It. Just because. I don't know why, actually. I just love Pennywise. I think he's fascinating. I just love villains in general, I think, just because they're fascinating characters, and maybe it's the character analyst in myself just wants to figure out what makes them tick. But I find them to generally be very interesting characters. You're a reader and you love Stephen King. What's your favorite book? Ooh, I would recommend, if you haven't read It or The Stand, check those out. But if not, Carrie, Firestarter. I'm sure if you're a fan of Stephen King, you've already read those. If Clary was a villain, what would she be and what would she do? Well, I think seeing a little bit of dark Clary kind of gives you a peek into that. Because basically the way we approach that is creating a version of Clary that was still her, but it was just as though the demonic rune made her desires align with Jonathan's. So it was still Clary's thought processes and Clary's sense of logic and Clary's headstrong and heartstrong sense of loyalty, but just suddenly with entirely different intentions and goals and desires, which makes it ultimately scarier because Clary will literally do anything for the people she loves. Romance novels or horror? Horror, hands down. Who doesn't love a good romance, for sure, but I tend toward horror when it comes to things that I gravitate. Vampire or werewolf? Ooh, that's a tough question. I'm going to go option C and say warlock, because I feel like dealing with the moon and having to be like, oh, am I going to change or morph or whatever is just a hassle. And I love food too much to drink blood for the rest of my life. Although I'm pretty nocturnal as it is, but hey. My goodness, so many questions, I can't even keep up. Which mascara am I using? I generally use the CoverGirl Lash Bloom. It's the pink one, and I love it. It's been my favorite for years. Yeah, it's affordable. Warlocks do rock. Do I like Harry Styles? Yeah, actually, a friend of mine put together a playlist the other day that had a couple of Harry Styles new. They're not as new as they should be, but I'm behind on music because I'm a grandma. But some of his songs off of his new album, and they're so great. So yes. Do I like Draco Malfoy? Yeah, sure. Who doesn't like Draco Malfoy? Shout out to Tom, Let me see. What other questions? Wow, so many people from all over. If my TV only had 3 shows or networks, what would I be watching? Great British Bake Off, Lucifer, and pretty much anything on Stars. I'm kind of obsessing over Stars right now between like Hightown and P-Valley and so many other shows. Like I could go on and on. Favorite Maze Runner character? Newt. Being Sonia, I feel like Newt should be my favorite character also. He just is. What superpower do I want to have? The power to heal. I feel like people forget about that superpower, and you always need somebody around who can just mend things. Because especially if you're all superheroes and you're running around trying to save the world, somebody's going to get hurt. Something's going to happen. Somebody's going to trip and scrape a knee. You need somebody who can fix that, because you don't need to be thinking about that or like twist an ankle. You're always running as superheroes. And if you're running, or if you're flying even and you land funny, you need somebody to fix that before you go fight the bad guys, I'm just saying, it's a useful skill to have around. Maybe it's silly, I don't know. Oh, you're from Chicago? Have a slice of pizza for me, because I miss Chicago pizza desperately. Sorry, I'm trying to read through all these questions. There was a question I wanted to answer, and I couldn't. I missed it. Oh, I love Criminal Minds. That's the question. Isn't that silly? That's the question I went back to find. Yes, I watched arguably too much Criminal Minds as a kid, to the point where it gave my mother nightmares. So, yes, I love Criminal Minds. Do I still love apples? Do I still love apples? I mean, come on. Of course I still love apples. You're watching Shadowhunters right now. That's awesome. What episode are you on? Tell me about it. I've been thinking about rewatching it lately. Do I prefer heroes or villains? I don't know what I prefer. I prefer to switch it up. Because I played heroes for a little while on Shadowhunters and Arrow, and then got to play a villain in The Stand, and got to I guess she's a villain, yeah. Got to play a villain in The Stand. It's nice to switch it up. Because, it's what I love about my job. It's getting to be a chameleon, so it definitely stretches a different set of muscles. Have I watched all the Lucifer episodes? No, I'm very behind on Lucifer, although I love Lucifer, and it's something that I like to savor the series. But when I met Tom on Arrow, I was deep into watching the show, and tried not to fangirl as much as possible, but I'm pretty sure I did a little bit, but that's okay. He was very, very kind. But just getting to watch Tom and Matt Ryan, who plays Constantine, just play, because they both have such mastery of those characters, and they just got to ad-lib most of that scene and play and just sort of bounce off of each other. It was brilliant. It was like watching a master's class. So I thoroughly enjoyed all of that. Yes, I have seen most of Vampire Diaries. I don't think I ever finished the series, but yes, I have. I miss Shadowhunters too. You haven't even started Lucifer? Well, you are in for a treat. Check it out. I have seen Titanic. It's an interesting one for sure. Can I speak any other languages other than English? When I was in high school, I made a choice to take Latin as a foreign language, thinking that it would be a great idea and would open the door to a lot of vocabulary and other languages, which it did. But my high school quit offering Latin when I was finished with Latin 2 because nobody else was taking Latin other than me. So I got stuck up a creek without a paddle in a foreign language. But I've taken some time over this quarantine to get back to learning some languages that I actually would like to speak, so I can read Latin. But that's about it. Have I ever been to Greece? Yes, I was lucky enough to visit Greece, almost 2 years ago now, I think. I went with Will and Matt. The Three Musketeers traveled to Greece. We had the best time. It was so beautiful. We literally just sat on the beach and swam in the ocean and ate lots of wonderful food and had the best time. So yes, I would love to go back. You're watching Shadowhunters for the second time. Thank you very much. Alright, now I'm going to go to this question. So many different avenues. Please go direct with Dom Sherwood. I would love to. If Dom was on, I would bring him on gladly. Working with Harry is a joy and a gift. That man is so talented and so utterly professional as well. I'm just in awe of Harry in everything that he does, in life and in work and in everything. And I learned so much from him over the years of just how to navigate the work environment and also how to be such a fluid creative who's constantly thinking on his feet and on his toes, literally and figuratively. I have the best time with him, and I'm just so happy for him and proud of all the amazing things that he's doing. So I'm the biggest Harry fan out there, or one of the biggest. I think Shelby might be a pretty big Harry fan as well. It's funny because I was a dancer growing up, and I grew up watching Glee. And I would always watch Harry dance, and I would go, oh my gosh, I want to dance like that. I want to be able to move like that because he's so incredible. And then getting to work with him was just dream come true. Beyond. It's nicer than I ever could have imagined. I could talk about Harry all day, but let's see. Do, 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 do. If I wasn't an actress, what could I see myself doing? If I wasn't an actress, actually, when I was a kid, I didn't even know that being an actor was a job. And I wanted to be an economist. Economics was the joy and the love of my life. I wanted to go into developmental economics. So probably that. Can I tell you something about The Stand? Check it out on December 17th on CBS All Access. That's about all I can say. Here's what I can say is that if you're a Stephen King fan, you're going to really love it because they did such a great job bringing the book to life in such a rich way. I will say it's very adult. It's very Stephen King, sort of his wonderfully absurd but often very dark and harsh world that he creates. And I will also say that I play probably one of the worst individuals I've ever played. And she is in no way a representation of anything that I think or believe, in fact, the opposite. And it was a very jarring thing to play a character where when you make choices for the character, you go, what character choice in this moment and what action or thought makes me feel like the worst, grossest human alive? And that's the right choice for that character. But I loved it. I loved every minute of it. I got to, run around with pink hair and play an absolute villain, which is great, and it's really different. So I thoroughly loved it. But she is the example of who not to be in the apocalypse, I'll tell you that. But I also have a few surprises when it comes to The Stand that I'll tell you about closer to the first episode, because my surprise is in the first episode. But I'm really excited for the surprise, and I think you guys will be too. And the surprise might lead to another surprise if I can get it together quickly enough. So stay tuned for the surprises. All right, let me get back to the questions. Do I miss Shadowhunters? Yes, every day. How did I meet Bradley James? Bradley and I met at a Comic-Con years ago. And he's one of my closest friends and has been since then. And I adore the man. I think he's utterly fantastic. Do I still talk to Dom Sherwood or anyone from the cast? Yes, we all talk. Very frequently, actually. Probably more than you guys would think. Do I watch Game of Thrones? Yes, I saw every episode and loved it. My favorite candy is candy corn. Candy corn, 100%. And I know it's a very polarizing food, and people think I'm crazy, but I love candy corn. So to those people out there who don't love candy corn, I say that's okay. I will eat the candy corn that you don't want because I love it so much. This is my favorite time of year because you can find fresh candy corn everywhere. It makes me so happy. So, hi Chelsea, I miss you, babe. You tune in right as I'm doing a diatribe on candy corn. But, I just like to share the love. Hey Tommy, what's up? I just like to share the candy corn love. And for those of you who don't, just tell you that that's okay. You're allowed your opinion. But, those of us who love candy corn will take the burden off of you. And we'll eat your share of the candy corn. I think it's a perfect system. Everybody gets to have their own opinion. That's how the world should be. Yes, fresh candy corn is a thing. I mean it. There's a difference. Oh my goodness. No, this is not sponsored by candy corn. Although if it were, I would be the happiest girl alive. But if it was to be sponsored by candy corn, I would not be opposed, and I would be very open to a candy corn sponsorship. So if anybody knows how to make that happen, I volunteer as tribute. I'm sorry. I'm losing it, you guys. More questions. Favorite type of cuisine? Ooh, see, I don't know. I fluctuate because I feel like the more I travel, the more I learn about different kinds of cuisine, and especially when I am lucky enough to sort of have it in the place where it originates, you know, the authentic version, as it were, of the cuisine, I find I love it even more. So I don't know, I feel like every place I travel, I go, this is my favorite cuisine. Like, I love Mexican food. I've always loved Mexican food, but after going to Mexico, I love it even more. Or after being in Greece, I have such a huge appreciation for Greek food. Or being in Brazil, I love Brazilian food. But, you know, after visiting Paris, I mean, I could just wander Paris. That's what I do in Paris. I just eat all the time. I eat and walk. So it balances out, I hope, in the end. Yes, I have met Tom Felton, and he's lovely. We met at a Comic-Con, and he is far from the evil one that he is on screen. Have I watched Grey's Anatomy? Yes! Luke Baines got me into Grey's Anatomy, and I binged... I think I was traveling a lot at the time or something, and I think I binged 15 seasons in like 3 months. I don't know how I did it, but there you go. Favorite drink? Scotch neat. Absolutely. I pretty much either drink scotch or gin, but I don't know. You guys might be able to tell what my favorite drinks are, seeing what's on my shelf here. We have of Queens and Angels, red wine, and Sassenach scotch. This may or may not be an indicator of my favorite drinks. I don't know. Just saying. But I love gin as well. It's, you know, I'm kind of an old man when it comes to drinking. Red wine, scotch, and gin. Oh well. Let's see. What other questions? How do I choose Frey Friday? Literally, I get so many incredible things that I'm tagged in or that are sent to me for Frey Friday. I am utterly overwhelmed by the wealth of incredible art and amazing options that I just try and choose whatever I can of a variety. And it's there's really no rhyme or reason to it other than I just try and include as many people and as many as wide of a variety of different kinds of art and different topics and different projects as possible. So please keep tagging me. Please keep sending me your art because I hope to find it all eventually. But there's just so much that if I miss it, it's not because I don't appreciate it or don't love it. It's probably because it just got lost in the shuffle. So keep tagging me. Keep sending it to me. I love every minute of it. Do I miss Matthew? I always miss Matthew. Matt Daddario is a treasure in this world. Oops, hold on. Have I ever been to Belgium? Yes, and I love Belgium. I've had some of my best and favoriteest memories are in Belgium. And I love the waffles. So there you go. Sorry, I'm trying to go through and... Do I usually cry when a series ends? Yes, I do, actually. I often will cry when a series ends. Whether it's a series I watch or a series I'm a part of, yes. In fact, when I was watching Girls a few years ago, I saved the last episode of Girls for a year because I didn't want to watch it, because I didn't want the show to end in my mind. Because if I didn't watch the episode, it was still happening in my head. I'm a weirdo. I don't know. I'm sentimental, man. Favorite candle. Ooh. I have a few favorite candles. My new favorite candle, which there was just a sale on Bath & Body Works, so I bought a bunch of candles. And the cinnamon Irish cream candle it smells like frosting. It smells like cream cheese, cinnamon frosting, and cinnamon rolls. And I love it so very much. And it puts me in the holiday mood. Also, I don't normally love... Like, I love pumpkin pastries, but I don't normally love, like, pumpkin-scented things because they get a little spicy for me. But this one, caramel pumpkin swirl, is lovely. And it's got a little fox on it with a cinnamon roll. And it's really great for fall. And it just makes me feel all cozy and Halloween-y. Makes me want to watch Hocus Pocus and, you know, drink some tea and bake. And go carve a pumpkin. I don't know. Yes, I did watch Gossip Girl, and I loved every minute of Gossip Girl. That was a joy in my life. Take us on a tour of the house. I wish I could, but my house is... There's a lot going on in my house right now, so I can't take you guys on a tour currently. Otherwise I would. Someday. Maybe. I'm trying to reload the questions here. Okay, I'm gonna have to go in like 5 minutes, you guys. This is so fun. Have I ever been to Canada? Have I ever been to Canada? I love Canada. I spent the majority of the last 7 years of my life in Canada, and I had the best time. Met some of my favoriteest people on the planet, and I'm so thankful for the time that I spent there. What am I gonna wear for Halloween? I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what Halloween's gonna look like this year and what we can do safely, but rest assured, even if I'm sitting here in my house or wherever, in some house somewhere, I will do something fun. Because I have a trunk of costumes, and I will dig something out and be creative, because... Hi, Cameras! I miss you! By the way, Cameras is killing it right now, because they're back shooting Batwoman, and I'm so excited for this new season. And I miss you guys, so please give big hugs to everybody up there. Dress as the virus, that's funny. Have I been to London? Yes, London is one of my favorite cities on the planet. Arguably, some of my best memories happen in London every time I'm there. So, it's a good place. It's a good city. What else is going on? Yes. Sending you the biggest hug. I was just looking back at pictures from Mexico yesterday, and good times. Hold on. Favorite Disney movie? Oh, that's so tough. That is so tough. Davina, hi, babe! Because I grew up loving Pocahontas and Mulan. They were my favorite Disney princesses. But then... Princess and the Frog, I love Hercules. I mean, who doesn't love The Lion King? I also love the Aristocats. I mean, if we're talking Pixar, then you have The Incredibles and Monsters, Inc. and Bug's Life, which is massively underrated. So, hey, TJ, what's up? Thanks for saying hi. Oh my goodness. You guys, I miss people. I miss being social, and I miss being able to be out in the world with folks. I don't know if you guys feel the same, but I really can't wait until the world heals itself and we can all go back to life, whatever life looks like now. So, there you go. What was it like working with Isaiah? Isaiah is one of my favorite humans on this planet. I love him so much, and I'm so grateful for him in my life. He's literally become like a dad to me pretty much from day one, and has remained such, and I'm so, so, so grateful for him in my life. And just, he's so talented and such a professional as well. But I learn from him and take every ounce of his advice every time he offers it. And anytime, like, we do little father-daughter things sometimes, and I just adore him. Anyway, TJ, I'm so proud of you for finishing your script. That is fantastic. I am so proud of you. I can't wait to see what becomes of it. And just even finishing the script is such an accomplishment. Hats off to you, my dear. Sorry, I get really excited about when people reach creative goals and accomplishments, or, you know, whatever goals and accomplishments for whatever their passions are. I get very excited. So excited I flick my hair, apparently. Alright, let's see. So many questions. What does Stephen Amell like? Wonderful. He has such a standard for his work ethic and for what the standard of whatever project he's working on needs to be, that his attention to detail is incredible. Massive respect for that. And I'm so excited for him and his new show. I just talked to him the other day. He's having the time of his life. So I can't wait to see it. And I'm so excited for him. Can you tell that I get excited when people I love do fun things? I'm a dork like that. But hey, I get excited for the people I love. What's the funniest thing that I've read about myself on the internet that's not true? No, I think the funniest thing I've read about there's many funny things I read about myself on the internet that are completely not true. One of which, I read something once that I was a basketball player for a long time. I'm really short and I'm not great at basketball. I can play softball. It's about the only sport I'm really good at. But yeah, that made me laugh because I'm really bad at basketball. Yeah. So many things to answer. Have I watched Outlander? Yes, I have. It's a fantastic show full of fantastic people. Paris, New York, or London? Don't make me choose. That's not fair. I can't choose. Okay. Just a couple more questions. Favorite Hamilton song? All of them. I'm sorry. I will talk about that for 20 minutes if I try and answer that question. I have not watched Mandalorian yet. I need to do that. Oh, Bob is good. He's currently, somewhere else. But he's doing all right. He's taking a nap right now, so I don't want to bother him and, disturb him. But he's doing good. We're cohabitating. We're currently ready to see other people, but we're good. We're friends. That's how I like to do it. No need to end a relationship with drama. Can just be friends. Yes, I've seen Outer Banks. It's fabulous. Any tips for those back at school? Be safe and take care of yourself, whether you're going to school online or whether you're actually physically back in school. Just really take care of yourself mentally and emotionally and physically, because it's not easy for anybody, no matter what your situation is. But education is so important that whatever you need to do to put yourself in the right headspace to make the most of it and to make the most of the learning experience, go for it. Just do you and learn and try and enjoy the experience as much as you can. Will I join TikTok? I don't know. I feel like if I joined TikTok, it would be all-consuming, and I wouldn't do anything else. So I think it's just better for my productivity and my time management if I just remain a TikTok consumer as opposed to a TikTok participant. But I do appreciate the effort that goes into the TikToks. Is that what you would say? I don't even know the proper terminology. See, that just goes to show you right there the tics and the talks that I do not know about. Alright, you guys. This has been so lovely getting to chat with you folks. Miss you like crazy. It's been a joy and a pleasure. I appreciate every single second of it. And be sure to... I'm just going to take 1 second to say, take care of yourselves, be well, be safe, and if you're in the United States, register to vote and vote. Because it's very important that we take this opportunity, especially those of us in the younger generations, take this time to make a choice and to create the world in which we want to live and to utilize our rights as American citizens that have been granted to us to make the world we want to see and to create and put those people in office that we want to see create the world in which we want to live and in which we want our children and future generations to live. So do your thing, make your choice, educate yourself, and be well. And I wish you all the best and send you all my love.